Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you both for coming. General Austin, this budget request, is it a 4% increase?
Yes, from last year's.
Okay. What's the inflation rate?
Current inflation rate is well above that. So.
Okay. So this budget doesn't keep up with inflation, number one. Percentage of GDP spent on defense, what percentage does this budget represent?
I think it's 3.1.
Okay. How many times have we been below 3% since World War II?
I don't know, Senator.
Well, you need to look it up. 1940, 1999, 2000, 2001. In the 10-year window, the fiscal year defense plan in year 10, 2032, what percentage of GDP will be spent on defense?
In the 10-year window?
Yeah, FY 32. The trajectory we're on, where will we be in FY 32?
We should be a bit above where we are right now.
Now we're at 2.4% if the numbers I've been given are right. So over time, we spend less historically than we've ever spent. And given the 10 years that I'm looking at, I don't see a real peace dividend out there. How many current battle force ships do we have in the Navy?
I think it's
We have 296.
293.
We have 11 aircraft carriers. How many ships does China have?
I think the latest number was around 400.
Yeah, 355. They're going to 422 by the end of, 460 by 2030. Where will we be in terms of ships by the end of 2032? U.S. ships. It's 280. So the bottom line is we're on the wrong path here, from my humble opinion. We're spending below inflation. The Chinese are increasing their Navy. By 2032, we'll have, these numbers are right, we'll have 280 ships below what we have today. GDP spent on defense will be at 2.4%. I don't know what kind of world we're looking at out there, but you're seeing a different world than I am. And I hope we, in a bipartisan way, can correct this, because I think in really many ways this is dangerous. Afghanistan. General Milley, I think you and Secretary Austin said last year that we could expect in the next 2 to 3 years threats to the American homeland emerge from Afghanistan. Is that still accurate?
I still believe that to be a correct assessment, yes.
Has it moved one way or the other?
We're seeing initial indications, as you have seen in the media as well, and you're privy to some of the intelligence, which I won't go over here, but ISIS and other groups are trying to put themselves back together. They have not succeeded yet,
Yeah.
And they have not yet presented a threat to the U.S. homeland, but we are watching that very, very closely. And if they raise their head and do present a threat, then we'll take appropriate action.
Is our over-the-horizon capability to just monitor Afghanistan sufficient?
I think we have room to improve, to be sure. We do have
I don't want to do
over-the-horizon
anything
capability.
right. Unclassified here, but our ISR presence in Afghanistan, I think you'll be shocked to know what it is and where it's headed. To both of you, you advocated for troops to remain in Afghanistan. Is that correct? It's the president's decision, but that was the position of both of you. Is that correct?
That's correct. I want to be clear, Senator. I support the president's decision.
I know, but the recommendation you gave, I want to be clear, was it would be better off to have a residual force. Is that accurate?
And sir, you know, I will never convey what I say.
Well, the record's replete with the fact that it was, and I just want to compliment you both. I'm trying to compliment you here that I thought that was the right decision, that pulling everybody out of Afghanistan was a mistake. Do you believe that our withdrawal from Afghanistan made it more likely that Putin would invade Ukraine?
I think that President Putin made his decision to invade Ukraine long before we pulled out of Afghanistan, to be very, very candid.
Why didn't he do it before?
Why didn't he do it before?
Yeah.
I think he was preparing the force. Last year, he ran a very, very large exercise and in getting the force ready.
Why did they invade Crimea when they did?
In 2014?
Yeah.
can't answer that question right now.
Well,
I think it's because.
I've got a theory here.
Say again?
That, with all due respect, that Afghanistan sent the worst possible signal to our adversaries and our allies. President Biden and Secretary Blinken have said they have no regrets regarding our withdrawal from Afghanistan. Secretary Austin, do you have any regrets?
Senator, as I said, I support the president's decision.
Okay.
And again, you know,
What about you, General Milley?
I deeply regret the loss of 13, 11 Marines, 1 sailor, and 1
But,
soldier.
yeah, I do too. I regret the loss of everybody we've lost over there and all the wounded. But do you have any regrets in terms of our national security, that maybe we made the wrong decision?
Senator, I'm a soldier, and I execute the decisions that I'm told to make. And I don't think at this point it's helpful for me
Okay.
to express regret or not. I execute
Fair
the
enough.
mission.
So I want to work with you both. Chairman Durbin's been great on Ukraine. We want to do more, not less. We want to send a signal we're in it to win it. And I appreciate the robust response. It's getting better every day, so thank you both. In terms of the budget before us is inadequate to the threats we face, and over time is a disaster, and I'd like to fix it. Thank you.
Senator Hoeven.